COVID-19 pandemic slowed economies worldwide, including here in Cambodia. Jobs were lost, incomes fell, low earners were hit hardest, threatening to push more people below the poverty line.
So the moment COVID hit, what we realized in the most vulnerable group will be get hit the hardest. The Cameroon government start to look into our budget system. From there, 300 million were preserved. So with these budgets available, we were able to look into how to really support our family, the lowest quantile group.
Without any stimulus interventions, UNDP research estimates the Cambodian economy could have contracted by as much as 4.1%. And the number of people living below the poverty line could have nearly doubled. But thanks to targeted cash transfers to the poorest Cambodians, the worst of these impacts were averted. Economic contraction was contained at around 3%, and significantly less people slipped into poverty. The move was unprecedented in concept and scale. For the first time in Cambodia's history, about 700,000 of the country's poorest households received a vital lifeline of cash. In total, over $230 million were dispersed to meet families' essential and urgent needs. The speed of the response was also unprecedented, achieving in 3 months what would typically take 3 years to deliver, thanks to the use of technology at the commune level.
Tablet មួយសម្រាប់ប្រើប្រាស់ការកំណត់គ្រួសារក្រីក្រនិង tablet មួយទៀតគឺប្រើប្រាស់សម្រាប់កម្មវិធីឧបត្ថម្ភសាច់ប្រាក់ទៅដល់ស្ត្រីមានផ្ទៃពោះនិងកម្មវិធីឧបត្ថម្ភសាច់ប្រាក់ដល់គ្រួសារក្រីក្រដែលរងផលប៉ះពាល់ COVID បាទ
Cambodia's social protection system was gradually built over a decade by the Royal Government with support from development partners. GIZ and Australia led the way with facilitating the creation of a digital ID poor registry. UNICEF, WFP and others helped design the first cash transfer programs, covering mothers and infant children. When the COVID pandemic struck, the government of Cambodia decided to extend its small existing cash transfer program to all 2.7 million people in the ID poor system. UNDP and Australia responded by providing the hardware, training and technical assistance to help ensure this could be done in a matter of a couple of months. This has since extended to collaborating with GIZ, World Bank and other UN agencies in strengthening social protection systems in general.
During the COVID pandemic, we can see the strong cooperation is come to a real action.
Technology drove this swift response. With support from the Government of Australia, UNDP supplied over 1,700 tablets to the Cambodian Ministry of Planning.
So the important thing about the ID Poor database is that it is a database that already exists and which Australia and the German Technical Development Agency GIZ have helped to establish over the past 11 years. So when the government decided to implement a direct cash transfer system, it was the logical choice.
The app was licensed. Updates were made to the database and questionnaire so that in the future, more poor could benefit.
ក្រសួងផែនការកំពុងតែរៀបចំ ដោយមានការសហការពី GIZ ជាមួយនឹង UNDP World Bank ហ្នឹងក្រសួងផែនការកំពុងតែពិនិត្យកែសម្រួលទៅលើបញ្ជីសំណួរឡើងវិញហើយសម្រាប់ដាក់ឲ្យដំណើរការនៅក្នុងឆ្នាំ2022
The quality of our data, ODID poor data, improve. Even including the system and the quality of data. And the people, they appreciate because they are poor, we identify them. And then they come to the system and receive equity card which can receive cash from the government. This is the very important lesson learned during this period.
Tablets were deployed in 1,650 communes. Field officers received training on data entry, enabling them to quickly register families that had recently fallen into poverty as a result of the pandemic slowdown and were in urgent need of assistance.
ការដែលការពារបានមិនឲ្យប្រជាពលរដ្ឋធ្លាក់ចុះបន្ថែមទៀតចូលទៅក្នុងភាពក្រីក្រនេះគឺជាការចូលរួមក្នុងការមិនត្រឹមតែផ្ដល់ការគាំពារដល់គ្រួសារដល់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដល់មនុស្សសមាជិកគ្រួសារប្រជាពលរដ្ឋទេប៉ុន្តែជាការផ្ដល់ការគាំពារដល់សេដ្ឋកិច្ចទាំងមូលផងដែរ
The Cambodian experience is important. It shows that improving social protection is a springboard to accelerate poverty reduction and an investment to increase growth, particularly when the economy is suffering.
ដែលមានចាត់នៅរំភើបខ្ញុំមិនដែលបានលោកអ្នកណាឲ្យខ្ញុំម្ដង 152,000 រាល់ខែទេ
ហើយសម្រាប់ចៅទៅរៀនអីបើចៅនេះក្នុងនេះមានរូបចៅមួយនៅហ្នឹងឯនេះ
ចា
អញ្ចឹងចៅអាចទៅរៀនអីអត់មានត្រូវបង់លុយបង់អីទេណានិយាយបានហ្នឹងដឹងប្រយោជន៍បានហ្នឹងចាបាទកុំឲ្យកាន់បានហ្នឹងឲ្យដឹងថាហ្នឹងសម្រាប់ដល់ឲ្យទៅប្រាប់គេថាបានហ្នឹងសម្រាប់ទៅបើកតលុយចាបានហ្នឹងទៅពេទ្យអីបានទាំងអស់និយាយអត់អស់លុយទេ
To build on lessons learned, UNDP is already piloting a new flagship program to empower people to graduate out of poverty.
The new graduation-based social protection program, I think, is an important step forward in expanding what social protection can do. Communities, families, households can become more resilient by having an asset that they can build up, a productive asset. That might be farmyard animals, that might be some micro business. And we think this is a very smart investment in terms of people's economic potential. So we're making sure then that social protection is not just about protecting people now, but providing them the wherewithal, the capacity to be able to protect them and their families as they move forward.